Authenticity really is key to connecting with others. We are like individual pieces of a stained glass masterpiece. We need to lean into our uniqueness. That is what makes us shine. When we clear off the muck and the grime and the layers and layers of self doubt, self criticism, and comparison to other people, when we clear those away and we get to our real authentic selves, that's when the light can really shine through us and we can connect with other people and we can make an impact in this world. But as long as we're living in comparison or not feeling worthy enough, then we're not going to thrive. So today we're going to talk about how authenticity leads to confidence. When you walk into a room or situation with confidence, it makes the people around you feel safe. The security it brings to the other people around you is assuring and attractive. But how? How do you walk in with confidence? Well, confidence, like sexiness, is a state of being, not necessarily a deliberate choice of attitude. You can choose to develop the mental state, however. A fantastic place to practice is among your friends and family. But this video is about authenticity, right? Well, research shows that authenticity and confidence are connected. And that makes sense. Like I've said, you are an incredible and unique piece of stained glass. Lean into your individuality and you will shine. Whereas if you are people pleasing or being fake, you're not likely to be very confident. You see, unlike confidence, acting authentically is a choice. Making the choice to be authentic in your interactions will breed confidence. Self-confidence is a belief in oneself or in one's abilities. The key word here is belief. Self-confidence is believing in yourself, your authentic self, who you are at your core. Confidence is a belief that comes and goes, and it's very often built up by evidence. So authenticity is aligning how you truly think and how you truly feel with how you act. I talk about minding the gap. Inflammation and disease are created when we swing ourselves away from the integral core, whether it's in our gut lining or within our thoughts. The degree to which we swing ourselves out of alignment correlates to the pain that we feel. So it's the same with authenticity. When we swing ourselves out and we're doing what other people want, we're not acting in alignment with who we authentically are. We don't want to be acting out here with other people's expectations. We want to be authentic and bring it in here to be true to who we are. And then when that gets affirmed, that feels good and it builds confidence. It builds confidence in who you are at your core. So your tone, your body language, remember we want to be opened up, your facial expressions, and what you say should be congruent with how you actually feel. It's about being real with people and doing and saying what you think, rather than trying to control your behavior in order to match certain expectations. You're acting in a way that is faithful to who you are. Even if it's embarrassing or goes against expectations, you're owning it. That's what the most interesting people do. A form of authenticity that you can begin practicing is in disagreeing with things that you truly disagree with, rather than going with the flow or with what other people think. Be true to yourself. Honestly, people pleasing is a form of lying. It's being fake, flying off the handle or overreacting, being rude and such while in the moment is not to be confused with authenticity. That's the heat of the moment. You have to have emotional regulation to connect with your most authentic self. The other aspect of authenticity is the ability to be vulnerable. It takes courage to open up. It takes courage to be vulnerable, but this can lead to a closer, more authentic relationship that's built on trust. Being authentic opens you up to criticism. It opens you up to people not liking you. It's true. But if you're being true to yourself, it shouldn't matter. Authenticity is inherently polarizing, but you will be attracting the right people to you at the same time, which is affirming. There is something in that is attractive to people. It's like if you're willing to let people not like you, then you must have something. It shows that you're not desperate. And that is also very attractive to people. Why then can it be so difficult to be authentic? Well, we have a real need to be accepted. On a deep primal level, we must be connected to the group. To stray away from the group norm or the mass thinking is to make yourself vulnerable to being separated. Remember, from the earliest of times, we needed to be a part of the group because there's safety in that. If you were separated from the group and put out into the wilderness, you most likely would die. And so, from our deepest roots, we need to be connected into the group. So, that's why mass thinking is so pervasive. When you're vulnerable, you open yourself up to the possibility of not being accepted into the group or being separated from the group. Some of you might say, "Oh, I don't care what other people think." But the reality is, on some level, that you do care. It's just hardwired into us. We need to be connected to other people. For a lot of people, however, we've gone way too far into our safety zone, not wanting to be rejected from the group. We've lost our authenticity. We've lost ourselves to the social norms. So authenticity is a choice. By choosing authenticity consistently, we make it a part of our persona. It becomes a habit, and through it, we can gain confidence. Remember, authenticity is not a personality trait, it's a choice. Let's break down how it leads to confidence. Well, it works like this. As you practice making authentic choices, you will receive positive feedback. People will give you respect. Others will want to know more about what you're saying, and they find it interesting. You'll be like a splash of color in a monochromatic world. Different, interesting, sparking conversation. The responses you receive will build up and serve as evidence to the fact that the real you can be accepted and that your authenticity is making connections for you. Whereas if you are people pleasing, you're not given the opportunity to be your authentic self. When you're being true to yourself and being authentic, you're creating the opportunity for others to see the real you. And that gives them opportunity to affirm you, which is when the confidence is built. But if you're always living out here doing what other people expect you to do or doing what other people want you to do, that never gives the opportunity for this core part of you to be affirmed. And that's what we want. You are inherently worthy and you are inherently beautiful. Just take a deep breath and start stepping out and showing people the real you. Start with your friends and family. Start where it's safe. You see, authenticity is fundamentally a matter of self-respect. You're honoring yourself and what is true for you. It's a signal to yourself and to others that what you have to say is worthy and valuable. It anchors into your subconscious that what you're saying has value and that your thoughts are worth listening to. When you only people please, you give yourself and others the message that your thoughts or desires aren't really worth the time or the energy. It chips away at your self-esteem. If you don't think highly of yourself, why would you put yourself out there? Authenticity is a state of openness. You are exposing how you think and how you feel to the world. You may draw more attention to yourself, and it becomes something that you cannot hide from. Exercise that demonstrates this and will actually help you feel comfortable with the added attention is to wear something bold and bright or loud or attention grabbing out in public. Show your style. Wear something with flair. Wear something that people cannot ignore and that will draw attention to you. And as you do this, you may be aware of eyeballs on you at first, but as you move through the day, you become used to it. Okay. And lastly, authenticity puts you back into control of your own life. You know, your boundaries won't be crossed, and it makes you more fearless. And as you're practicing this, the confidence is building and building. There's another exercise for building authenticity that I'd like to share. Let's turn it over to Dr. Jordan Peterson to explain.
I think one of the most useful psychological exercises that anyone can ever do. So start with the assumption that many of the things that you say and think aren't yours and that you don't believe them. They're just things that you've picked up for one reason or another as you've walked through life, and you're not really you, because then start listening to what you say and feeling what you say as well. And here's the rule. It's a very simple thing to try. Pay attention to whether what you're saying makes you feel stronger or weaker. If it makes you feel stronger, then you can keep saying it. But if it makes you feel weaker, then you should stop saying it. Stop saying it right away. And see if you can reformulate your words so that when you restate them, that feeling of integrity and strength reappears. And you can feel it really down the middle of your body. And because what happens if you're saying something that is untrue?
I love that he does the exact same thing that I do. This is your integral core. All right, JP, bring it.
True is that you dissociate to some degree because part of you agrees with it and part of you doesn't. It's like you're splitting your psyche. But if you pay very close attention to what you say, you can feel yourself coming into alignment if you get the words right. And then when you're in alignment like that, you're centered in your being. And the thing about being centered in your being is that if you're centered in your being, you can withstand suffering without becoming corrupted. And that's what people want when people say they want a meaningful life. That's what they mean. They mean, I want to be somewhere where I can stand powerfully and with.
I love how that brings emotion to him because it's the truth, which is why this is my subject. We need to bring it back in and be in alignment with the reality and with the truth, like not swung out here. This is the measure of pain that we feel in everything, whether it's the integrity of the cells of our bodies or the integrity of our thoughts or our spirits. It's when we swing ourselves out here, we feel the pain of not being authentic and not being aligned with what's integral. So if we are going to thrive, we need to be in this alignment. I love that Jordan Peterson is also bringing us in to this place of authenticity. All right, let's let him finish.
The onslaught of life with its deaths and its tragedies and all of the things that are associated with it. And you can learn to speak from the bottom of your soul. And if you do that, there's nothing better than that.
Yes, JP. All right. With that, I'm going to be my most authentic self and I'm going to get outside and work out. It is a gorgeous day here in Santa Barbara. My wish is that you give me thumbs up if you like this video and that you hit subscribe. Please, let's grow this channel. I have some great interviews planned, but I want to have a well-established channel first. So please give me likes, give me subscribes, please share, and let's grow this. Make it a great day, you guys.